Boom, and we are live with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. I'm Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
Yes, we have a great show today. We have in the studio with us to talk about the bond issue over in Jackson County. We have Mr. Baggett here to talk to us from Jackson County Schools. He's the assistant superintendent, and he's going to give us the whole lowdown today on what's going on over in Jackson County. But before we jump into that, we're going to mention our sponsors, the people who help us keep the lights on for the show. The first one, he's been with us for a while now, and we sure do appreciate it. That's Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles. You can check them out over on Ocean Springs on Washington Avenue. Hit them up, man. They're on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, at Southern Magnolia Smiles. You can check them out on their website. That's www.southernmagnoliasmiles.com, or give them a call on the landline at 228-215-1202. If you're looking for a great local dentist, Joey and I both use them, and we highly recommend them.
Absolutely.
Next, we'd like to mention Hill Tree Marketing. That's Jesse Hill over at hilltreemarketing.com. They do website and graphic design, social media, IT services, videography, photography, and aerial cinematography. They have a drone. They can, if you're looking for a website, you need it for your personal use, for your small business, go check him out. He's done a lot of local businesses around here, and we're going to be debuting our new website that he's done for us as well.
It looks sweet.
Yep. So another sponsor that we not only recommend, but that we also use. Our third sponsor that we're going to mention is the Downtown Ocean Springs Crawfish Festival. That's going to be May 29th of this year in downtown Ocean Springs. It's their third annual. Go out and check it out, man. It's going to be a good time. They've got 22 teams competing. They're going to be boiling over 2,000 pounds of crawfish. So crawfish and beer, I don't know what else, you would could make for a better time than that. I went to the first one. It was a great time. You get to go to each booth, sample all the different teams, use your ticket to vote for who was the best, and it's just all around a great time. We appreciate Trevor for sponsoring us, and we're actually going to to be down there.
We're going to have a booth. We're going to be talking crawfish.
That's correct. And this is our first show in May, so we also want to thank Harrison County Development Commission for coming on board with us for the month and sponsoring us. We've had Mr. Bill on the show many times. They do a lot of cool stuff over at Harrison County Development Commission. They bring a lot of business into the Gulf Coast. They also have their C-Force training, which is where they allow high school kids to come in. They partner them up with local businesses, and it's things where the kid was like looking to get into an industry. They can sample that before they go to college and acquire a bunch of debt for a trade that they may or may not like. So if your kid might be interested in that, go check them out. Harrison County Development Commission. There we go. We're back.
Hey.
It's not a real live show if you don't have some kind of technical issue. So that was our first one. Clyde, in the comments, man, we appreciate you chiming in. So let's get it started here. Let's talk. The largest bond that I think I read on the website here. This is going to be the largest one in 40 years. Is that correct?
I think it's probably going to end up being the largest ever for the Jackson County School District. But you have to remember, we haven't passed a bond since 1996. That's even before y'all were there.
Yeah,
right? And
that's right.
Prior to that, we're talking 1980. And most of the time, it's about every 15 to 20 years, a school district passes a bond, because that's how we do capital projects. We're not like you and I, where we can just go to the bank and say, hey, we want to get a mortgage because we're wanting to do some infrastructure work or add some classrooms. In order for us to do capital projects, we have to go to the voters and get permission to borrow money. And that's what we're doing with this capital bond project for the Jackson County School District. Much needed. Long overdue. Yes.
Yeah. And I think we got out the gate a little, I don't know. That's the first thing that popped up when I read the comments on it and the articles that have been written about it. But let's give people that are tuning in and seeing your face possibly for the first time, your background in education. And like I said, I mentioned you're assistant superintendent right out the gate, right? So
that's correct. But I started like most people do, started out as a teacher, and I was also a coach for 4 years. Very fortunate, had an opportunity to work with some great people. The Lord had a plan for me, and about 4 years in, I got into administration and worked a year over in Ocean Springs when luckily Dr. Havard offered me an opportunity to come over and work in Jackson County at the St. Martin Attendance Center. at the high school with y'all.
That was around our time,
That
right?
was.
Because
Yeah.
you were the assistant principal our
That's right.
senior year, right?
That's right. That's the golden age.
That was
man.
it.
Come on,
Many,
Good
man.
stuff.
many lives ago.
Yeah.
Many
that
lives
was
ago.
good. Yeah, it seems like yesterday. I see y'all have weathered much better than I have.
No,
I don't know if I'd
tell
say
you
that.
that.
we had makeup before the show.
Yeah, we got a whole crew that
Well, I
pampers
think I
us
need
up.
more than makeup, to be honest with you.
But so explain to people that are new to this, that probably have heard a bunch of, accidental disinformation on the internet. I'm not saying people are doing it maliciously, but things get retold sometimes the wrong way. You explained it a little bit already.
Sure.
If the school needs to do improvements, they have to go through a bond through the school board. Is that correct?
Well, the board has to authorize and put to vote a bond requesting money. And then from there, the taxpayers of the Jackson County School District have to go out and vote it either up or down.
Okay.
In the state of Mississippi, in order for it to pass, it has to be 60% yes to pass. So anybody living in the Jackson County School District on May 18th, we ask you to go vote. Now, why should you vote yes? Hopefully tonight, after we go through the process that we did to get to this point, and I answer all the questions, you'll understand why the kids of Jackson County School District need this bond to pass.
Okay, so let's paint this picture first.
Okay.
Because I did it before. Jackson County is a little different. They have one superintendent over the three schools. The three schools being St. Martin, Van Cleve, East Central, correct?
Exactly.
And then they have a assistant superintendent, which you would be over at St. Martin.
That's correct.
There's one at Van Cleve.
And there's one at East Central.
And one
That's
at East Central.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
All right, so that's the three schools we're talking about.
that's
right.
correct. Yep.
So when you hear Jackson County schools, a lot of people go, well, Ocean Springs Pass School, Goshen. No, we're
you're
talking
right.
about Jackson County, Van Cleve, and East Central.
Yep. We're the Jackson County School District is made up of St. Martin, Van Cleve, and East Central.
That's it. That's
Absolutely. And this bond is going to benefit all three of the attendance centers.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and people have to remember
Well,
that.
let me ask you this question right off the
Okay,
bat.
go ahead.
Why do they call it an attendance center instead of a high school?
Well, because it's not obviously the high school is where everyone graduates, but say in St. Martin, we also have a middle school.
Right.
We have an upper elementary, and then we have two lower elementaries, north and east.
Okay.
So we call that the attendance center. Those are the kids that live in that zone go to the St. Martin schools.
Yeah.
Likewise, with Van Cleve, they currently have a lower, an upper, a middle, and a high school.
Okay.
And East Central has the same layout. So
All right.
St. Martin has grown to the point where we had to do an additional school. And that's why we have 5 schools in the St. Martin Attendance Center.
Awesome.
Full disclosure, that's where my kids go.
Yeah.
So-
Right. I always, because when you look it up, like on Max Preps or anything like that, it doesn't say St. Martin High School. It always says St. Martin Attendance Center.
Yeah.
And I was
And that's
always
why.
wondered why.
So what kind of shape are the schools in? I mean, is this maintenance issues or is this natural growth? A little bit of both?
It's actually both. And, we've got some good buildings. They're older buildings. I've worked in districts that have buildings much older than this, but have been renovated over the years. So they continue to serve the kids and the public. We have not just dove into this saying, okay, we need to go out and borrow this much money. Our school board is actually very, very smart and calculated how they've done things. Before we even decided we needed to do a bond, the board authorized a couple of things. The first thing they did, we did a facility study where we hired a third party to come in and evaluate the facilities in the Jackson County School District to see what we have and what kind of problems do we have and how much is it going to cost to fix some of these problems that we have. So that's the first thing they really needed to know to see where do we think we have problems. We all have gut feelings, but we need to get some data to see what we really have and what it's going to cost to fix. That's one thing they did. The second thing they did a demographic study to see actually how much has the population grown over the years and what is it going to grow over the next 10 years also. So they could see a true picture of, oh, we think we need an elementary school here. Well, we don't like to work and act off of gut feelings and we think.
Right.
We went and paid a company to come do a demographic study of our school district to give them hard data. Okay, this is how much we've grown. This is where we've grown. This is where your future growth is probably going to be. And I don't have to tell y'all because y'all live in the community. St. Martin has experienced tremendous growth over the last 20 years. Yeah. And it's not going to slow down.
A whole lot after the storm.
Absolutely.
After Katrina, it blew up for sure.
But even since then, I tell people all the time, the plate is really set for the St. Martin Attendance Center because we've got a great location there right by I-10. You know, you can literally be anywhere on the coast in about 30 to 45 minutes.
Right.
We've got good infrastructure, power, water, good fire department, good sheriff's department. We also have affordable land that doesn't flood easily whenever it's a storm or other things come up. So we have the things that people want. On top of that, we've got great schools. That's the other thing people want to see. So with that being said, when all things are considered, that's why we have a lot of growth coming. And I continue to see this growth. You know, we got about 12 housing developments coming up right now in the St. Martin Attendance Center.
Yeah, well, I think it's the trickle effect from Sangani coming this way off of Cook Road. When
Absolutely.
that blows up,
when that finishes,
it's huge.
It's going to continue to grow. And we know that. And with those two pieces of data, the board then looked and decided and said, yes, we do need to do a bond to address growth, but then also to take the facilities that we have, which have good bones, but they just need renovation. And if we do those things, they can serve our communities another 20 years easy,
right?
Without a doubt.
So when I think of what I put everything in football knowledge just because I coach. So St. Martin is a 6A school, correct?
That's correct.
East Central is a 5A, and Van Cleve has dropped recently to 4A.
Actually, they're moving up to 5A.
Are they moving back up to 5A?
They are.
Okay, so you have a 6A school. East Central was a 5A, and then Van Cleve dropped to a 4. They're moving back to a 5A.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So Jackson County's coming up.
Huge. You know, people don't realize when you think of Jackson County, you're probably talking one of the 7 largest school districts in the entire state.
Damn.
That's big. That's right. You know, Harrison County is probably 3 or 4, you know, so we're not far behind that. You know, we're sitting right around 9,000 students, and we are going to continue to grow as long as we're giving kids a great education and we have a great community that people want to move to. These schools are going to continue to grow. So we need to plan accordingly and be prepared for that growth. And on top of that, we also need to make sure that we're providing an environment where our students and our staff can do their best work. And as great as our schools are right now, they're lacking in some areas, not only in the need for classrooms, but also in the needs from the fine arts and athletics. You know, I don't know of a 6A school that does not have an auditorium of some type where students can gather with the staff, or we can do performances, or for that matter, the community can come together when they need to discuss and debate things. St. Martin does not have that.
Did Pascagoula just get one? I don't know if that's associated with the school. I remember seeing
they did. They just did another one, but they've had one for years.
Okay.
Over in Pascagoula.
Yes, I remember seeing Coach Adolphus doing it.
That's right. Yeah, they just completed a new fine arts facility. Actually, Biloxi did too within the last 2 years. I want to say
theirs is huge.
It's a beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. And I think Hancock. I saw the other day. I want to say Pearl River County Schools are doing one as well, you know, and this has been a long time coming. Again, we're not a small, sleepy little 3 or 4A school anymore. St. Martin has grown.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have a huge group of kids that are into the performing arts, both band, choir, drama, and they're growing bigger and bigger every year. We need to provide a venue for those kids to come in and do their best work, just like we do with football, baseball, basketball, softball, and all of our other extracurricular activities. You know, we just recently completed a new band hall at St. Martin High School, which we were needing because our band program has just taken off.
Yeah,
I mean,
gigantic.
it is huge. Yes.
You got just about more people in the band you do in the football team.
We've got more in the band than we do in the football team. That's not unusual, but we want to continue to grow those programs. Right. And that's why we need to invest in our schools, not only in the classrooms, which we do, and we'll talk about that here, but also in our fine arts and then also in our athletic facilities. We've got some great venues, but we've outgrown some of them, as you know.
Right.
And we need to do some things as addressing restrooms, weight rooms, drainage, and we just need to be able to do that so that our kids are on an equal competitive playing field as our neighbors around us. Because for those of you that haven't noticed, Harrison County schools are investing in Harrison County is investing in their schools. Biloxi is investing. Ocean Springs is investing. Pascagoula, Goshen are investing. If we don't we're going to fall further and further behind the 8 ball. And the kids in the Jackson County School District, especially St. Martin, do not deserve that. They come each and every day and work as hard as any kid, and they deserve an equal footing to compete against as those kids around us, I believe.
Absolutely.
We got some people in the comment section. Brian Butler says that you're the man. We got Sam Davis said that you kept both his boys straight over in OS. And my cousin's actually in the comments, and she said she agrees. She went to junior high in a temporary building that her parents went to high school in. I know what you're talking about. That was the old facility right over here.
That's correct.
On Lemoyne that Katrina demolished
That's
for
right.
us. And she said, yeah, so that was her point. So I get it. And I'm hearing you there, and you made some really good points. One of the ones I wanted to touch on is 12 new communities coming up right around the high school.
That's right.
If you don't think school systems affects real estate values and where people move,
Oh,
you don't have kids and you've
Right.
never
That's
experienced that. I mean, it's a humongous deal. And obviously St. Martin, Jackson County is putting out a great product, or people wouldn't be coming in as much as they are, correct?
Absolutely. When people move to a community, a couple of things they want to see. First and foremost, is this a good, safe, nurturing environment that we can raise our kids in? The second thing they usually want to see, what are the schools like?
Right.
Are they going to provide my kid the education they need so that when they get to that point in their life, they're going to be able to chase their dreams and aspirations and have the skills they need to do so? We're doing that right now in St. Martin, no question about it. Miss Holland at the high school and all of our other administrators lay a great foundation for our kids when they graduate. We feel like our kids can go out and compete with anybody on the academic side whenever they leave.
So needless to say that
Can't disagree with that.
that the landscape is changing. We've grown as a community. I can talk to, my parents, my grandparents. Like, St. Martin is not the same community
No.
that it was as far as scope and size. Used to that everybody knew exactly who you were, where you're from, and now it's just not that way. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So that's good to see. But also the landscape, I think, for jobs coming up for kids nowadays that are in high school now, and especially the ones in junior high and below. The job market for them is going to be extremely different than it was even when Joey and I graduated,
Yeah.
which we were talking about. That's about 60 years ago. It feels like
20,
20,
actually,
but
yeah.
it feels like more. Is this bond going to help address any possible issues with that, being that more technology offered in the classroom, more technological training, everything's video, everything's digital nowadays? Or is this going to bring us into the 21st century with the school system?
Well, I can tell you this for certain. Right now for us to do additions and things, we're having to use our normal operational budget. Okay. So the monies that we could be spending on technologies and these other things that our kids need in the classroom, we can't spend that money because we're having to use it toward adding a band hall, fixing this field, things of that nature. That's why school districts do capital projects, so that they can get these big ticket items out of the way and then use their maintenance budget per se to address those needs, because we only think we know the skills that kids are going to need over the next 10 years. We don't.
You're just going off
Okay.
the books.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, we do know that critical thinking is one of the biggest things.
Cool.
That, and to me, interpersonal communication, whether it's written, verbal, those are skills. I don't care what profession you go
Right.
into, you're going to need to be able to do those things. So, but to me, the biggest thing right now is critical thinking. Technology is going to continue to change and evolve, and we just think we know where it's going to go. But the reality is 5 to 10 years, there's no telling where it may be. But regardless, as long as we're preparing our kids to be good thinkers, they're asking questions and not just following blindly, then we're going to set them up for success. But to answer your question, if we can get a bond like this passed, it frees up our budget so that we can spend it on those expenditures that change every 2 or 3 years. If we don't, otherwise we're going to continue to just piecemeal things together. And that's
Right.
not the way
Just
that
put
we
a
need to do
Band-Aid
that.
on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Band-Aid and strings of what we've been doing. And they've done a great job in the past. Our board has to stretch the dollars as far as they can. But we're to the point, if we don't do something, we're falling further and further behind.
Is the vote an all or nothing? Is it?
The vote is an all or nothing.
Okay.
So when you go to vote, if you vote yes for St. Martin, but no, I don't want this for Van Cleave or East Central, then you're voting no for St. Martin as well. So when you vote for this is yes for St. Martin, Van Cleave, and East Central.
Okay.
Okay. So people have asked that question. That's a great question that
Yeah.
you asked right there,
Yeah.
Jared. So
And when's the date on that again?
May 18th. If
May
you haven't
18th.
already, please mark your calendar. For you technology people that aren't old like me, pull up your phone right now and save that date in your phone so it reminds you early in the morning. You'll be voting at the normal places where you do in any general election. You'll go there and vote. If you're having a problem, call the Jackson County School District and we'll help direct you to the right area that you need to vote at.
Okay.
And regardless if you're for it or against it, I would advise everybody to exercise their right to vote and go out and do so. Please.
Absolutely. We say that all the
important.
time.
Absolutely.
Yep, for sure. One of the things that Joey did some prep work. I looked at some posts that people had put on different spots on Facebook talking about this, and it's some of the I guess naysayers that I could read, and the couple that I remember, and you may know something more than I do as well on this. One of the issues was with the how the monies were being divided.
Sure.
And I think you can explain that for us. They don't just randomly come up with this number and who gets what, how big a piece of the pie, correct?
Sure. That's a great question. And I'll tell you, this was pure politics, how it was ultimately divided. So basically the St. Martin area has about 46% of the student population. But you can look at the pie more than just the student population. You can look at it one way where, according to this study, Van Cleve maybe had the most needs from building standpoint. East Central proportionally may have had the most square footage. So there was about 5 different ways the school board could look at this and decide it. But at the end of the day, they had to look at all of these factors, where all the needs were, and then they came up with the decision: we're going to put 42% of the money going toward St. Martin, 29% going toward Van Cleve, and 29% going to East Central.
So still not 100% based off.
Well,
you said 47% of the population of students, 42% of the money. So off by a few percentage points.
We are, but I will say this. I don't want to lose a little bit of money over what we can do right now if we can get this passed, because I'm telling you, this will change the face of St. Martin.
Yeah.
Right.
If we can get these projects accomplished, what it will do for St. Martin for the next 20 years, people don't understand. They will ride down Yellow Jacket Boulevard and say, wow, this isn't the St. Martin that I remember from 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
What it's going to be able to do for our kids, not only in St. Martin, but in Van Cleve and East Central, are going to be life-changing, okay? And it's not every year that you have an opportunity to do this, okay? 1996 was the last chance we've had, okay? So I would advise anyone out there, if you're unsure, please get online, go to our website, research what we've done. We've got all of our data up there. We've been very transparent.
On there. I saw it today.
All of this, yes. Yeah. All our demographic studies on there, our facility study is on there, so that you understand what we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it. We're not just shooting from the hip. We've put in a lot of work into developing these plans. And these are plans, again, that are going to help the kids of the Jackson County School District.
So we got a question coming in from Travis Burke. It was kind of the point I was going to bring up as well. So his question is, how do these costs get passed down to the taxpayer, ? Or does the board, or does the bond pay back? Or how is the bond paid back? From what funds? And that was another one of the things that I saw while I was going through the comment sections on some of these debates, if you want to call it, that people were having.
Sure. So when we pass a bond, what this is going to do is affect property taxes. So if you own a home, it's going to affect your property taxes. For the average home in the Jackson County School District, and all of this is online, and we have gone through the tax assessor's office in Jackson County to get this information. So this isn't something we've made up. We've worked with them to make sure we're putting out good information, because I know there's some misinformation out there. So again, you can go to our website and see all of this. Yeah. Absolutely. So the average home in the Jackson County School District, the true value of the home is around $130,000. So what is that going to equate if we get this bond passed? In reality, it's going to raise your taxes about $100 a year. That's less than $10 a month for the average home in Jackson County. And you can see on our website where we have this information, you can take that scale and slide it up or down based on the value of your school.
Right.
Okay. That's what it equates to. The average home, about $100 a year, less than $10 a month. It's what it's going to cost you.
I've seen some people talking about tags, all different kinds of tags.
It does affect your tag. Now, if you're like me, I drive a 2008 Toyota 4Runner. It's going to cost me about, I want to say about 75 cents extra, maybe $1.
Yeah, but Joey drives a Bugatti, so
Well,
it's going to cost him probably a lot.
You know, it may cost you $80.
I got 8 cars.
If that's the case. So
he's got all that podcast
Yeah.
money
Yeah,
he's
that's
got to
right.
spend. So.
you know, and again, that's on our website under frequently asked questions. So you can go and look about what the value of your car is and how old it is, and it'll show you about how much it's going to cost you.
Okay, we got another great question. I swear, y'all are lighting it up down there. I appreciate it because this was another one I was going to ask you. So
Good.
this is from the St. Martin High School swim team.
Hey.
So they said if this does not pass, let me throw it up on the screen here. If this does not pass, when can Jackson County School District go back for another bond proposal? That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, if it gets shot down.
You said
what
96
happens?
was the last one. What kind of interval are we on here? What determines this coming to a vote?
The board will have to make the determination. This is something that the board, if it does go down, the board will have to look at probably why did it go down, try to gather some more information, and then from there decide, do we want to revamp our plan and try to put it out again a year from now, or are the people just not for this right now and we don't want to go there? There's no guarantee if we don't get this passed now that it will ever come up again. I can't
Right.
guarantee that. But I tell you this, I do trust our board. I've worked with a lot of boards over the years, and we have a very smart board. They ask a lot of great questions, and they're always looking out for the best interest of our students and staff. So,
Well, and they've kind of got themselves out on the line now too, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure they're
absolutely.
taking flack for this,
Right.
You know, good comments, and then also taking flack for it as well, right?
sure,
So
absolutely.
they've got
But
their
again,
neck out there.
you know, that's a tough position they're in, but this is a position they were voted in, and a lot of people trust them.
Yeah.
I trust them. Okay.
Yeah.
And these aren't easy decisions, but again, they've got to look out what's best for the kids in our community. And I'm telling you, they have put in more work than any board I've ever seen in preparation to try to pass a bond. And I commend them for that. But these aren't decisions that are made lightly because it's going to affect their taxes just like it's going to affect ours.
Right.
Okay. But at the end of the day, they have to weigh all of these things and decide, is this something we're ready and we need? And I agree with them 100%. This is something that we need, and the time is now. Okay. The interest rates are the lowest that they've been in
Absolutely.
probably 50 years.
Yeah.
So as much as anybody hates to borrow money, this is by far the best rate. And I've done 2 other bonds beside this one that we will get the most bang for our buck, so to speak, if we can get this thing passed now.
Yeah. What let's transition just a touch here. Let's say this bond gets passed.
Okay.
We get everything we want. You know, well, it's all or nothing.
Sure.
But it passes. We get what y'all have got worked up here. What does it look like? What are each school going to get? If you could pick St. Martin,
Yeah.
Van Cleve, whatever. Tell us a little something about what specifically you have in all this literature.
It's right here in this pamphlet.
Well, it is in the pamphlet.
And
but,
again, this
you
is
know,
all on the website,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. All this information. But also, you know, because when I developed this plan, what I did was I went around and met with each one of the staffs. I wanted to get input from them. We put a survey out there to all of our parents and anyone in the community. We had over 3,500 people respond to our surveys of what they thought we needed. I went and got input from students. I went and met with administrators. I went and walked the buildings, talked to our maintenance people, talked to people in our community. What do we need in St. Martin and why? Then from there, I looked at our demographic study. I also went and looked at our facility study, and then I started working on a plan. Okay. We had a plan. We looked at it, revisited again with our staff, our administrators, our board members. We tweaked it. We continued to do this until we got to the point where we are right now. And so with that being said, I'm just going to walk down the line here. St. Martin North Elementary. If you've never been there, beautiful campus.
Yeah.
Off Lamar.
I went there.
My oldest
Beautiful
went there.
campus.
Is that
I'm telling
that's
you.
probably the oldest school y'all have in
It may be, but let
I
me
think it
tell you,
is.
you know, you've been there.
Well,
Great
it's been
bones.
it's been a long time.
And it's in a great location.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all, with some work, that thing can look like a shiny penny. All of our schools can. So what we're planning to do, if we can get this thing passed, we're going to put a new roof on it. We're going to do new flooring. We're going to do new lighting and a new ceiling. Okay. In
All right.
addition to that, it's not on here, but I'm sure y'all have heard the government has sent money to the schools through the COVID plan.
Okay.
We are going to also be replacing the HVAC system with this COVID money and new windows. We're getting ready to do a bathroom renovation. So with that being said, you're basically getting a complete makeover if we can get this thing passed at St. Martin North Elementary.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, it's like a total renovation.
Yeah.
And then at St. Martin East, we're going to be doing a new floor, a new roof, new lighting, new ceiling replacement. We're also doing a bathroom renovation this summer there at East. And additionally, we're going to be doing HVAC with our COVID money there. So again, it's going to be like
a makeover. Yeah.
a
Full
complete
makeover.
renovation.
Right.
And, you know, I had someone ask the other day, and it's a great point. Why wouldn't we just build new schools? And I'm going to tell y'all, I just left a district where we built a 2-grade school for about 750 students on the campus of Mississippi State University. One elementary school for about 750 students, we spent over $25 million for that facility.
So that paints some context there
Yes.
for people that are worried about
That's
price.
right.
67 million sounds like a large number, but you got to think of how many 3 districts or 3 different schools
yes.
with multiple schools under those
That's right.
umbrellas. So you're talking about a lot of
man.
students.
And I'm not even done. I'm going to work down this
Yeah,
list.
you're
Yeah,
working
let's
down.
go.
All right, St. Martin Elementary, upper elementary. Okay,
That's the new one.
that's the
newer
newest one. That was built with the 96 bond, right?
Okay,
there.
yeah,
That building
that's the
was
one we
when
didn't
y'all
go
were
to.
there. That's
No.
right. Y'all
Yeah.
just missed that one.
Right.
That was the blue building for y'all. Remember, we had
Right.
the gold building and the
Yeah.
blue building.
Yeah.
That was the blue building. So we're going to add 18 classrooms onto this building on the existing wings. Okay. By doing that, we're going to be able to move the 3rd grade from the lower elementaries to the upper elementary. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade are all state tested grades.
Right.
So it makes sense to get them aligned all in one building. This is going to give room for growth at our lower elementaries when we move that 3rd grade out.
So that'll be K through 2 now.
That's correct.
Right.
And we've got room for growth now down there. With these 18 additional classrooms, we're going to be able to move the 3rd grade there and still have room for growth in the future. Okay.
All right.
Additionally, we're also going to be putting a playground out back. Y'all, what they have out there right now was originally built as a junior high.
Yeah.
It's not accommodating what our kids need.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing we do have plenty of over in St. Martin, plenty of land.
Yep.
So we can go right back behind the land between the school and the baseball field. Y'all know the
Cut some
area.
pine trees
Yeah.
down.
Hey, take a bullet, get a D6 dozer in there, start
That'll
pushing.
work.
Yep.
And then from there, we are also going to get COVID money. We're doing a bathroom renovation already this year on upper elementary. We're also going to be doing HVAC renovation in there. We're also going to be putting a new playground in there, which is greatly needed.
Absolutely.
So St. Martin Upper is going to be taken care of. St. Martin Middle School, the high school for y'all,
Right.
Yeah.
whenever you came there.
Yep.
We're going to be building, and you heard me talk about fine arts are a growing thing in
Yeah.
the Jackson County School District, especially St. Martin. We need a new band hall there. Okay. We're going to build a new band hall, and we're also going to build a choir room. We're going to be doing a roof renovation, new lighting, new ceiling. We're going to be doing the HVAC replacement. Some of this money, some with the COVID money. We have some major problems in there with the HVAC. Y'all probably remember that
Oh,
first day
yeah.
when that line collapsed, that 4-inch HVAC line dumped water all over the floor. First day of school. I'll never forget that. It's still the same system.
Right.
Y'all,
It's old.
I'm not here to have a 10-year discussion on what we need to do. I've been brought in to make things better for our kids and staff, and I intend to get that done.
Right.
So we're going to do an HVAC replacement. We're also going to add some additional kitchen power. Okay. With these things, it's going to make the St. Martin Middle School like a brand new school when we get it done. Also, with our COVID money, we're going to replace the windows because that building was built in 1980. Beautiful building.
Yeah.
Great layout. We need the old girl, we need to replace her windows, though. We're going to be using that COVID money in line with these other bond monies to make this school what you would want your kids to
Probably
go
more
to.
efficient with the new
Absolutely.
windows, right?
Absolutely. New HVAC system, new window system.
We need to open up a commercial HVAC system company quick.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you, hey, it's
Get a
not
bid
just,
in.
When do
it's
these
not just
contracts go
us.
out?
Yeah, we got to get a bid in.
You can almost
You know what I
name
mean?
your price. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Moving on down the line, St. Martin High School. You heard me talk about earlier.
Right.
This is the only 6A program that I know of. We don't have an auditorium to go to. Whether the principal wants to talk to somebody, a class, we want to have parent meetings, we want to see performances, whatever it is, we don't have one. Okay. Not to mention, this is something that our lower elementaries, upper elementary, and middle school can use when they're doing Christmas programs.
Right.
Whenever the middle school's doing a band concert. Okay. Whenever a drama group in the community needs a facility to use, this can be one right here. Again, this should be the nerve center of the St. Martin community, and I intend to see it happen. We're going to build a new performing arts center. Our goal is to try to have about a 750-seat auditorium. Also on that facility, we will have a new choir room and a new drama room. Okay. The current luxury townhouse that I live in is a FEMA trailer. we are going to push those babies down, get them out of the way, because I've heard lots of complaints. We want to get the kids and the teachers out of these FEMA trailers. Once we do all these renovations, we're going to be able to have everybody back on the campuses. So on top of doing those things, we're also going to build a new multi-purpose gym. We never have enough gym space.
Ever.
When you start talking about and it's not just basketball now.
Volleyball.
Y'all didn't have archery back in the day.
Yeah.
Archery is huge now.
Yeah.
They have both the high school and middle school. We have to have places for these people to practice.
Right.
Okay. On top of having PE classes daily. So we're going to build a new multi-purpose gym. And along with that, we're going to have health, PE, and driver's ed classrooms that will be part of that. So you're talking an additional 5 classrooms right there at the high school to help with the growth when it's coming. We're also going to add on to the outdoor covered dining area. We've got,
pretty sweet.
We do. It's a nice cafeteria. A lot of the kids like to eat outside.
Yeah.
I like to eat outside. So, most of the time where we live here in South Mississippi, even in the wintertime, you can eat outside whenever you want to. We just need to have it covered. So on those inclement weather days, our kids can still eat outside. Yeah. So that covers a lot of the classroom needs as well as our fine arts. And then we're moving over to the athletics aspect of things.
That's where a lot of people were saying, there's a lot of stuff that actually has to go into schools. And they were like, is sports really needed? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can tell you this from experience, and I've been doing this over 25 years. When parents come, a couple of questions they have. Number one, what's the rating of your school district? We're an A school district.
Right.
Everybody knows we've got great kids, great teachers. So that part's pretty well known. When all things are considered equal, if my kid plays in some type of sports team, they're going to want to see, what does your stadium look like?
Right.
What are your practice facilities looking like? Okay. And I hate to say it, but right now, if they come over and look at us, then they go over and look at Biloxi, they go over and look at Ocean Springs. It's hard for us to compete against some of these other schools. So don't kid yourself. When all things are equal, a lot of times that's a deciding factor.
Well, sports is what pretty much kept me in high school.
That's right.
So for some kids, it means everything.
And Joey, it's funny. It's not just you, but the statistics show you anyone that's involved in an extracurricular activities does better academically.
Yeah.
And you're right. If that's the carrot that gets kids in school and involved, or your coach or whatever organization you're with says, hey, I expect a B average, whatever it takes, we want our kids to get the most out of theirs.
Right. So does athletics generate any revenue for the school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ticket sales, football.
Right.
Football is usually your big one, and, basketball, baseball.
But y'all know in St. Martin, it's also about community pride.
Correct.
Right.
Whether it's on a Friday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, man, our community members are coming out and supporting our athletes. And I really, really appreciate that. And that's why my kids are attending the St. Martin Attendance Center. With that being said, we've outgrown a lot of these facilities. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to start moving on down here. Softball. We have got a great softball. They made a great run in the playoffs this year. And I'm telling you, we're only losing one senior. We're bringing everybody back.
Loaded. We're
We're going to be loaded next year. And we've got great young athletes in our softball program. So I'm telling y'all, you just mark your calendar. Next 4 to 6 years, we're going to be somewhere up in the top 4. I guarantee that.
There you go.
With that being said, we need to address our female athletes. We want to build a new dressing room and a weight room out there on the right field line, kind of like what we did for our football program. So when our female athletes are in there working out in the weight room, they've got everything that they need. They can look out over that field. It's going to look good.
The new softball field is across the street from the new high school.
That's correct.
That was before our time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's by the tennis courts.
That's right.
Okay. So
And this weight room can also service our female athletes for soccer who have the practice field right there, and our tennis program. Those are 2 huge programs that have a lot of female athletes. We do have a weight room in the high school, but that's a lot of teams trying to compete for weight room time. So this is obviously something that's needed, and it's going to help our female athletes, which we support equally like we do our males. I've got 2 boys and I've got 2 girls, and I expect out of both of them to work equally hard. So we need to provide them what they need so they can do so. So Moving on down, baseball. Man, we've got a beautiful venue. If you want to come see a game, man, Les French Field, I don't know that there's a prettier
Looks
place on the
good.
coast. I'm telling you. But we have obviously outgrown that field. And Joey, you even know when you were in school, we've got drainage issues there.
It's a swamp.
It is a swamp.
It is a
A
swamp.
perfect example is we're supposed to be hosting a playoff game tomorrow night.
Right.
We're not going to be able to
No
host
way.
it because our field will not drain. We're going to have to go to Pearl River Central Community College and play the game.
Right.
That is a shame for our young men who have worked hard all year long to get into a position where they can have home field advantage.
Yeah.
And we can't do it. So with that being said, we are going to, if we can get this thing passed, we're going to do a proper drainage field on that field. Okay. We're going to spend the money, bring in the dirt, put in the pipes. So this field will drain like it's supposed to for a baseball field. Equally, I can tell you right now, there will be so many people. If we did host tomorrow night, they'd be standing room only.
Right.
We shouldn't have to do that for a 6A baseball program that just played for the state championship 2 years ago.
Right.
I'm telling you, our program's on the up and up. We need more bleacher space.
They are a little tight.
Oh, they're not a little. They're a lot tight. You know, it's a shame they have to go stand in the football bleachers and look down to watch
Right.
the game. You know, no fan should have to do that. Likewise, the bathrooms are something that I am embarrassed with.
Yeah. That
It's a bad
those
situation.
portable buildings that you
Yeah,
brought in.
yeah.
Yeah.
We brought in a portable building.
That was a huge Band-Aid.
And it was. And, you know, I don't condemn whoever did it. They did what they had to do at the time. But we're at the point now we need to do something about that. You
Right.
know, so we're going to be building new bleachers. We're going to be doing a drainage project for the baseball field. We're also going to build a new press box and concession stand on that field. But it's going to serve a dual purpose, those restrooms and concession stand. And you'll understand why here in a minute when we do that. So when we go to football, if you haven't been to a football game lately at St. Martin, we pack the house. Okay. And I mean, we fill it up, and our visitors that come, especially when it's D'Iberville and Ocean Springs, there is no way they fit into those visitors bleachers. So what my goal is, we're going to tear down the visitors bleachers, and we're going to build a new home field on the visitor side that can accommodate what we need for a 6A program.
That makes so much more sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not to mention our field is not ADA compliant. I want our ADA fans to be able to come to the game and participate like the rest of our fans. So we want to build a new home field over next to our new football field and weight room that we've built over there. Also, we're going to build a new ticket box, a restroom, and a concession stand over where our current home field is, which will be our visitor side. Then the new baseball restroom and concession stand we're going to build will help service
For
the visitors. That's right. That will our home, which will become our visitor side, which can accommodate D'Iberville, Ocean Springs, these other large schools that bring big crowds.
I think a lot of people, like Ocean Springs, just did the same thing. They switched home.
They did
home and away. A lot of people are doing that.
It's the best bang for your buck,
Right.
You know, honestly. But not to mention that I have a big vision back where we build our new home bleachers back behind that area there. I can see turning that into a tailgate area, VIP area.
That'd be sweet. Our
I'm
whole
telling
practice
you,
field.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That could be a venue. So everybody in St. Martin on Friday night, where are you going to go? Man, I'm going out to the Yellow Jacket Stadium, man.
Barbecue, cook
That's
some
right.
wings, watch the
Absolutely.
game.
We
Right.
want it to be family friendly. We want it to be a place for people to go with their family and support our young athletes that are out there on a Friday night or for soccer or whoever else is playing there.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
I'm excited too. So that's what we're planning on doing in the St. Martin Attendance Center.
And I'm sure Van Cleve and East Central, I'm sure if we brought their superintendent in, they would be singing the
Absolutely.
same song you're doing.
You know, they've developed plans just like we have, you know, to accommodate their needs. And that's one thing that's good about our school district. We have 3 different attendance centers, and so each one can address their needs with their plan. This plan that I've developed, getting input from everybody, is going to address every student in the St. Martin Attendance Center, grades K through 12 academically. It's going to impact them, as well as every one of our fine arts programs and athletic programs. It's going to touch every student.
All right, I'm a CTE guy. I know y'all got a CTE center there. Is any of this money going to the CTE building?
Absolutely. You can do the math and see if we've got.
Right. I knew there was some left over.
Something a little fuzzy there. You know,
Right.
I can't do calculus well, but I can do addition and subtraction.
I took my shoes off, but I figured out there was some more money left over.
So yes, obviously we support the CTE program.
Right.
Dr. Morgan does a great job over there. We have a large contingent group from St. Martin that go over to Van Cleve every day. Not to mention Miss Holland has CTE classes embedded within the current St. Martin High School. Culinary arts was there when y'all were there.
Right.
We've expanded nursing program, medical programs as well. So technology programs. But we do have money set aside to address the growth needs at the CTE as well. And we've also set aside some money to do some security measures district-wide that are greatly needed for the Jackson County School District.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
What does CTE stand for, just for people who aren't in the
career technical education? So back in our day, it would be called VOTEC. So
Right.
if you don't know what CTE, it's the old VOTEC.
And man, boy, are those jobs in demand right now.
Right.
I mean,
Huge.
absolutely.
People don't understand. You don't have to go to school and get a 4-year degree any longer to come out and make a great wage.
Yes.
A lot of our kids are going through these CTE programs and they're getting national certifications.
Right.
They're scoring well on certain tests and they're coming out making $40,000, $50,000 a year with
Yeah.
a CTE certificate that they got out of high school.
Yeah, Joey's told that story.
Eagle, Chevron. I mean,
Absolutely.
they're beating down doors
Yes.
trying to
Yes.
find people.
So
you know
he's
what
got
I'm saying?
firsthand experience with
Yeah.
that.
And I heard you talking about the Harrison County Development Authority and what they're doing. And we've started doing, and we're going to do more of that, making sure that kids have an idea of what they want to do whenever they come out of high school. What niche are they going to fall into? We need to give them a taste of that before they get there so they don't get in and spend all this money and then get buyer's remorse and go, this isn't what I want to do.
Yeah.
So we're working toward getting kids experiences in different job opportunities they think they may want to go into. So they're educated whenever they decide they leave high school. You know what? I want to go to the junior college in 2 more years to get this certification, or I do want to go to a 4-year university. Or I want to go to the military, whatever it is. It's our job to educate them, give them everything they need so they can make those decisions when they leave and they feel ready to do so.
Yeah, Mr. Bill over there, like we said at the beginning of the show, their C
He's
program.
all about it,
Yeah,
man.
he gets fired up just like you do.
That's
talking
awesome.
about
I
this.
do,
So he's that's a good program because you mentioned 2 things. Number one, if you get strapped down with a bunch of debt, you don't end up liking that career or that field. That's not a good situation to be in. And number 2, there are $40,000, $50,000 and on up jobs that you can get right now without having to go to the 4-year degree route, and you may like it a lot more.
Yep.
So get that experience in before you dive all the way into it.
Yep.
Test the waters.
Absolutely.
Is there anything we haven't covered on that? I feel
That was
like
a whole lot of
went down-
info.
Yeah, that's a lot of info.
We hammered that.
I hope that this can clear up some of the questions that people had online. You spoke about it very well. Obviously, you've been put a lot of time, a lot of passion, a lot of effort into this, and it shows very much. You speak very enthusiastically about this, and the community, the kids, for the next 20 years, like you said. I mean, investing in the youth here, it reaps multiple rewards.
Why not?
Right,
what else are you going to
right?
invest in? Right.
And I tell people this, look, this is creating more work for me, but I am here and I'm all about our students and getting them and the staff what they need so they can reach their full potential. Okay.
Right.
I'm not doing this just because it's something I have to do. I have a passion because I have a passion for kids and for learning. And it's hard for me to sleep at night knowing our kids and our staff need more. So I'm pouring everything that I can into this to get this done. When I leave, I want whoever comes in behind me to say, wow, they did it right. They left it better than what it was when I got here. So that's my goal for the kids of the St. Martin Attendance Center. Get them what they need.
Yeah.
Because again, I've got skin in the game. I've got 3 kids there. And I want to get
Jackson
them what
County,
they need.
He's Jackson County.
Absolutely.
He's got kids too. So.
But it's about our future and our community. Somebody was saying the other day, well, that's a lot of money. I pay taxes too. And you're right. That is a lot of money. But this money, exactly what it's going for. It's going directly back into your community, directly back into your schools. This isn't some bailout that's going to fund some nebulous project somewhere. Mm-hmm. We, by law, have to put this money toward capital projects. This is not going to salaries. This is not going to go for a teacher pay raise or anything else. People have to understand, by law, we have to spend this money on the capital projects we are putting on the bond vote.
That's
I think there was a topic that came up.
That's a
Somebody
big
was
point.
asking if teacher salaries are going to be affected by
No,
this.
no.
It's
Yeah.
a capital expenditure.
Right.
That's correct.
If you
It
skip
has
the
to be
economics
done.
class, that means you got to build stuff with it,
That's
right?
exactly right. And
Or maintenance thing.
we would love to piecemeal together, but I don't know too many people that are going out to build a house that are going to build a kitchen 1 year. 2 years later, hey, we're going to work on the living room. And then when we get the money 3 years later, we're going to try to build a bedroom and string that out.
Right.
That's what we've been doing. We can't continue down that road. We have big projects that need to be funded. Okay. And again, these things are going to change the face of St. Martin forever. Okay. We've got A students, we've got A staff. They deserve A facilities. Okay. And if we can get this bond passed, this will give them the A facilities both our students and staff deserve.
Let's remind people before we wrap things up when they can vote and where they need to do it, just for the people that might have jumped in midway
Right.
through this.
Yeah, May 18th, and you will vote at your normal precinct where you vote for any other election or any other addendum that may be on the ballot. And again, if you go there and something's wrong, you can contact the St. Martin Attendance Center or the Jackson County School District. We'll get somebody on the phone that will point you in the direction. But this information of where you're supposed to vote to is actually on our website. We've got a plethora of information on there. Again, if you're not sure about it, get online and read and research. Don't take what I've said at the gospel. I told Jared and Joey before I got on, I trust the people of this community. That's why I chose to come here. We've done our homework.
Right.
We've made it clear and transparent to anybody. We've involved stakeholders. Don't trust me. Go look at it yourself and make your own decision. But I think if you look at what we're doing, why we're doing it, and the data that shows what and why we're trying to do, I think you'll agree with me. This is what the students need of the Jackson County School District.
I love it. If somebody has a specific question that, in Joey and I's, all of our greatness that we didn't touch today,
Yeah.
what can they reach out to you specifically or
Absolutely.
send an
I'll
email?
answer. Yeah. They can call me at the St. Martin Attendance Center. I'm embarrassed to tell you, I don't have it memorized because I don't call that number very often, but it's on our website.
Okay.
Please, any question, whether you're for it or against it, I'm willing to reach out and talk to anybody.
What's that website? Jackson County.
Yeah.
It's on, let me see.
It's
here.
on the website. It's on
Yeah,
the
hold
literature
on.
here.
And all this literature is on there for sure because I saw it today.
Yeah, and we've got a QR code as well.
Yeah, if you scan it with your fancy phone.
Yeah.
jcsd.com.
That's it.
That's what I'm seeing right
Yep.
over here. So
And you'll
And
see
that's
it from
going to
there.
show you, say, Martin, Van Cleve, and East Central. So
Absolutely.
it's going
And
to
you
show
just
you
work through the
everything on there.
website to get to me. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yep.
Sweet.
And I love for people to come by too and see me. As y'all know, I'm a people person. I'll talk to anybody on the phone, but I like to sit down and talk with people too. I've had a couple of lunch meetings this week with people that had questions and concerns, and I'll sit down anytime, anywhere with anyone and discuss these things and why I think it's important for our kids.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to come and sit in here and talk with us and try to explain this for the people before
And
they have to
next time you come on here, we're going to talk about fishing.
I was
We
gonna
didn't
say,
get
hey,
to it this
right.
time.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, guys, I can still catch a few.
Yeah.
Hey, would you have thought 20 years ago we'd be sitting around the table like this?
No.
It's funny
Let's
how the
switch
Lord
it-
works things
Let's
out.
switch it around to you because we were in high
No,
school.
Absolutely. Yes, I
Good
would have
shoot.
believed that. No, look, I was just like y'all in high school. We all grow up and go on to bigger and better things. So y'all were fantastic. For you listeners, don't let them kid you. They were great students, great athletes. They're what we're looking for all of our graduates that are coming out. And you can see they've been very successful and are giving back to their community. And
Yep.
we appreciate
Yep.
it.
We're definitely trying. So
Yes, you are.
thanks again so much for stopping by and talking to us. Anything in the future you want to come on here, you just let us know. Like Joey said, we'll talk fishing or we can talk
fishing
more
next time.
Jackson County School District. So it's a big part of this community. Joey and I graduated from there. So
Right.
we definitely have a place in our heart for that as well. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, both on the video and on the audio podcast. We appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Later.